This indie horror game won my channel's competition, so I turned it into a 3D print for the game dev. So, what competition? Every month I play indie horror games from Itch.io around the day that they release, and we host a competition where you vote for your favorite games over on the community page. If they win, they advance to this bracket-style challenge onto the semifinals, finals, and in the end, the victor. For the winning game, I sacrifice hours of my life being mediocre at Blender and even worse at 3D printing to make a 3D print, which I then gift to the game developer. We played over 100 indie horror games in January, and this one rose all the way to the top. Huntsman, where you must find a way to exterminate mutant spiders that have escaped from a laboratory. So we've got the premise, now let's make the print. Spiders are often used in horror games due to their pretentious amount of legs and eyes. Combine this with their dexterous mobility and eerie silence, and it makes them what we in the horror field call scary. But I want this print to be meaningful to the game's story and not just to hand over like a 3D printed spider. Anyone could do that. So let's start there. Spider, that's gotta be the center of the piece, but the rest is feeling kinda bland right now, so let's fix that. Well, what's the setting? For this, we want to capture 3 or so integral story elements, and good horror games often use environmental storytelling to give the character and the monsters a sense of belonging. But we'll try to replicate that in the print. In this game, we find the story is centered around the lab, where there is a giant terrarium that's used to house the escaped huntsman, all sorts of scientific equipment for spidery experiments, and test tubes where they grow the spiders themselves. So that's 2 elements that starkly contrast right there that we can use to make a really cool scene. The spider's home, full of heat, webs, and moisture, and the cold concrete lab where the spiders are grown in test tubes. This also addresses our second environmental plot point because we've identified that the conflict is escaped giant spiders eating humans. The last element I feel we need is simple. I want this. A dead body. No further explanation needed. So now we've set the stage for what we imagine this will look like. So on to step 2. Like all true gamers, I am awful at Blender, though I would say I've moved out of the tier of people who are too afraid to use it, but have it downloaded for fear of it costing money one day. I can make a thing or two. So after combining all our inspiration themes, here's the prototype. Spider, terrarium, lab, test tubes, dead body, and all of it on a nice little stand. I even thought, let's give this shit some movement. The spider's breaking through the terrarium, so the glass is all over the floor. Let's also make a contrast in the lab. Where there used to be order, there's now chaos, so some of the terrarium bits are going to be flung onto the pristine concrete floors with some knocked over lab equipment. So the ideas for the details are settled, and we've got this big piece, and it's ready to go. All that's left now is to create shapes using the correct topology, relearn the subdivider modifier, watch a couple of videos on sculpting, add a secret part to my print so that if you can guess what it is, let me know in the comments, figure out how to get rid of artifacts and combine shapes, relearn the Boolean modifier, sell my soul to a demon for Blender skills, relearn how to decimate shapes, learn how to do text in Blender, learn how to bend said text in Blender, learn how to rig a skeleton, learn how to pose. Learn how to weight paint, learn how to weight paint, learn how to weight paint, god damn it. Pose parts, do some more booling, and setting. Spider. We're done. I have to be transparent. A couple of the setting pieces are taken from Creative Commons assets I've got on Thingiverse, and I listed those things in the description if you ever wanted to use them on your prints. Let's add some color so I can show you a secret. Bam. Spiders in the test tubes. I'm so cool. Check out the plan details. This piece is gonna feel so alive with all of this movement. Also, can you guess what my secret piece is for? Let me know in the comments if you guessed it. If you've never 3D printed before and you're looking to get into it, I recommend you don't. It sucks as a hobby. You can literally make anything you want. It's not actually that hard, but nothing will ever print for you unless you first print one of these things and watch this very specific video to understand how supports work. That is, unless you are into filament printing. He's such a good boy. Print boy, print. Good boy. So once all these pieces print, we do some fine tuning, boring stuff like removing supports and all that jazz, and bam. We end up with pieces that look kind of like this. Then if you put a couple of those pieces into place, we get an idea of what the print will be looking like. Cool. So now it's every 3D printer's favorite part of the process.
Priming.
If you ask any 3D print artist what their favorite part of 3D printing is, they will all in unison shout simultaneously around the globe and say,
Grinding.
It's not a joke. You're not even allowed to buy any WADA clips unless you sign a contract that says you'll participate. Yeah.
Grinding.
It's so cool because you get to put on one or so layers of paint and watch it dry before you get to do anything you actually enjoy. But now that
Grinding
is done, it's time for the good stuff. Let's paint. If you want to get into making models or minis, I cannot stress this enough. Invest in an airbrush. It changes the game in regards to quality. Also wanted to say thank you so much if you've watched this far. It means a lot. I do this work because I love it, but you can support what I do over on Patreon, where I plan to provide this 3D print to subscribers, and you can join our brand new Discord server if you're interested in horror games, 3D printing, and game development. Both of those links are in the video description. And if you like me or my channel, I would really appreciate the support. All right, I made you guys wait long enough. Let's check out the finished print. Check it out. That's our winner for Best of Each January right there. I'm really proud of this piece. It really comes to life and brings out all the qualities that made Huntsman such a great indie horror game. Look at the details on the log. And this dude caught in the web. The spider is shining intelligent eyes, and it's modeled with that faint peach fuzz. The strewn glass shards across the disheveled lab. There's even a dead Zago on the floor. Look at his blue hair. So cute when he's dead. Now, did you guess what this secret part is for? Here's the reveal, so last chance to go guess. They are LED holders that are magnetically attached to the bottom of the base, and when you turn them on, they light up the test tubes. I adapted the design from someone who made the base model and posted it to YouTube, and I'll drop that link in the description. But this came out exactly how I wanted it to. And it's magnetically removable, which makes it easy for the game dev to replace these little lights. So now all that's left is to get this shipped off to the Huntsman dev safely, and I'll update you guys with a post once they get it. If you want to see more of your favorite indie horror games get printed, make sure you vote for them in the channel polls. At the time of this video release, we're wrapping up the release for February, literally right now, and we're starting on March's competition. So you can go right now and vote over on the polls on my channel's page for the winner of February's competition. Go check it out. Well, that's it for now, but thanks so much for the support and for watching. If you enjoy the content, please just like and subscribe, share the video with someone who would like it too. That's all. Much love. Peace.